Hey there, I wanted to show you a quick tour of our grapevines. And as you can see, some of them are overgrown, like a lot of the other things that are currently on the lands. However, we are taking our time and trying to be gentle with them because if you can also see, they're already starting to get buds for the grapes. So we have to be really careful with them so that we don't lose a bunch of the actual buds. However, they will also grow better if they look more like this one over here. If it looks more like that than if it looks like this. So to give you an idea though, we have 6 rows of muscadine grapevines. And they're absolutely beautiful right now because they're nice and green. It's just that they are really overgrown. Like, see how they're completely covering all the wire? And it really shouldn't be like that, mainly because there's a lot of stuff that's dead inside of there. But now on this side, look at how pretty that side is, where it's just covering the wire and nothing more. And we're better able to maintain them whenever they look like that. So really, we wouldn't be pruning these until the fall or early winter. However, we can't keep the weeds out from underneath them unless we cut them back some. So we are going to have to go ahead and take a loss on some of the stuff just in order to keep these grapevines healthy, because they actually have a lot of different trees and weeds that are growing in there with them. So by us going in, cutting them back a bit, it can actually make them healthier and stronger. I don't know if you can kind of see there, see how all the dead branches are hanging off. And look at that. How pretty is that though? It is so beautiful to see nature like this. If you want to be very fulfilled, work on the land. To be able to see your progress and see where you started, and even just the littlest things and the difference it can make will make you feel so good. Okay, so here's an example of some overgrowth, and if you look, you might see a familiar pretty flower of honeysuckle. And while that is beautiful and it smells wonderful, it is severely choking out our grapevines. So great example of why we do need to cut these back a little bit. Yeah, the honeysuckle is pretty bad down on this end. You can see it in a couple different spots there. And then also, because some of this is so overgrown, so this part had actually fallen down on top of itself. And so it was about 2 poles that were just completely laying down. See how the grass is all dead right there? Yeah, that's where the vines itself were just laying on the ground. We actually had to cut this one out. That was right here. It was in between that one and that one, because the weight of it had snapped it in half because the pole could no longer keep it up. So we definitely don't want that to happen anymore, which is a major reason why we're going to keep kind of cutting these back a little bit, even though it is not the time of year for that. We're just hoping taking care of them now will make them healthier in the long run, and that they'll come back beautiful next year. But thank you so much for joining me and taking a walk through our little vineyard on MJ's Gardens and Recreation Area in Eastover, South Carolina.